Are you planning on getting married, or have you already been married to the life partner that you've been waiting for? Do you want to bring your spouse to Australia? Then you should definitely watch us today. And to discuss more about spouse visa, we are joined here today by Aussizz Group, and we are here with
Girish, Kumar, Patel.
Welcome, Mr. Girish. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. How about you?
Very good, thank you.
That's good.
So a lot of Indians are getting married without stopping, and they want to get their spouses to Australia. So what kind of subclasses are there in the spouse visa?
See, today we're going to discuss about the partner visa applications. These applications for those applicants who actually are permanent, whose spouse are permanent residents or Australian citizen or eligible New Zealand citizen, and who are living in Australia, who recently got married or who are going to get married and who just got engaged and want to apply for partner visa applications. They can be eligible to apply for these particular categories. Now there are also other partner visas applications out there, but we don't call it partner visa application. We call it dependent visa. Let's say if you're a student and if you want to apply for a visa, you can apply for a student dependent visa. But we're not going to discuss about those kind of visas. We're going to talk about the permanent partner visa applications.
Okay. And as you said, there are more subclasses. So how many subclasses are there in it?
It's a good question. Now in partner visa applications, there are 309-100 applications, which is offshore applications. Let's say if you're living here in Australia and you recently got married and your spouse is living in another country out of Australia, you can make an application from offshore because it's an offshore subclass. So you have to lodge an application for, let's say if your spouse is living in India and you want to make an application, so you have to lodge an application through 309-100 visa applications.
Okay.
And if you are living here in Australia and if your spouse is living here in Australia, and if you met the spouse and you got married here in Australia as per the Australian marriage law, then you can be eligible to apply for 820-801 visa application, which is onshore applications. And there's another subclass we call it 300 prospective marriage visa. We also call it fiancee visa as well.
Okay.
Now in that category, if you recently got engaged and if you want to make an application for your fiancé with your fiancé and want to bring your fiancé in this country, you can make an application 300 visa application.
Okay.
So these are the subclasses that you can make an applications.
So Girish, apart from the obvious, what's the other differences between offshore and onshore visas?
There's no such a differences, as I said earlier, between offshore and onshore applications. Because offshore applications for those applicants who are living in another country outside of Australian zone. So if you are not living in Australia, in country inside, and if you are living outside of Australia, and as an applicant, if you want to make an applications, and your spouse is who is a permanent resident or citizen of this country, an Australian country citizen, and want to make an application, so you have to lodge an application from offshore. That means you are outside territory of Australia. So you're making an application from that country. So when you make an application, you must be offshore, and when your application will grant, you must be offshore at the time of grant of that visa as well.
Ah, okay.
So onshore means that there are a lot of applicants are here in Australia who let's say if someone come here on student visa, visitor visa, or any other temporary visa in Australia, and he or she met their future partner and they commit each other and then they get married and they want to apply for partner visa application while they have the lawful visa in this country and they are living lawful in this country, they can make an application for partner visa. We lodge an application 820-801 which is onshore inside the Australia.
Okay.
So this is the difference between two applications. To apply for onshore, you must be inside the country. To apply for offshore, you must be out. The applicant can be outside of the country or any other country. I mean, the person should not be into the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who else can apply for this apart from the people in the spouse in the partnership?
Now, who can apply this visa? That's true. Now, if you have married, for example, there are a lot of question comes in there like who can be eligible to apply for this visa. As a bit like eligibility, the main requirement means that if you have been sponsored as a partner, if you have been sponsored under 820 or 309 visa or 100 or 801, and make sure if you've been sponsored, the date you lodged an application, and if the application has been granted from that date till next 5 years, you cannot make an application. So that means if you married before, let's say you got married before and you applied partner visa before and you've been granted that visa, and you got divorced with the first wife or second husband, and then you applying
Which
for
happens.
yeah, and you're applying for you got married we got married again.
Remarried.
Yeah, remarried, and you got married again, and you want to apply for partner visa application. So that means you must have the gap of the 5 years between the first application lodgement. The date you, let's say, if you got married in 2012 and you apply for partner visa in 2012, June 2012, and you got divorced with the first wife, you granted your PR and everything, and you married again with the second wife, and then you want to apply for application. That means you could be eligible after June 2017.
Wow.
So you must have a gap with that 5 years. If you had not gap between that 5 years, you need to meet the requirement of compelling reason. That means you require to demonstrate a genuine reason that why you want to get waiver of that condition. So you have that condition between that. Another thing that if you got married twice and if you want to apply for third time, you also have to meet this compelling reason. So you cannot be eligible after second, third, up to sponsor. You can only sponsor twice.
Okay.
So you cannot make an application third time. You also meet the requirement for compelling reason. So there are a lot of people who say that we got married third time, but you need to meet the compelling reason for that.
Okay, a lot of people, I'm sure they don't know that.
That's
a
true.
lot of questions will come up to you.
Yeah.
So apart from that, are there any other requirements for the?
There are a lot of there are a lot of requirements are there to be eligible for the sponsor visa. Now, when you talk about the partner visa applications, mainly you need to focus on 3 steps. The first step is that main applicants' documentations, which means academic documents and identification documents like passport, birth certificate, and everything. Second, the sponsor documents. The sponsor documents means that sponsor has to provide the passport. If he's an Austrian citizen, he need to provide the passport. If he or she is an Austrian permanent resident, he or she need to provide the permanent residence grant later, and then they need to provide the financial capability that whether that person is able to support his or her spouse. Right? These are the documents, and your, let's say, your location, address, let's say where you're living. You need to provide all the address proof as well.
Okay.
And the third, which is a main and important requirement, which is a genuine and continuing relationship. You must need to meet that genuine and continuing relationship.
Okay. So carrying on forward with that, so what do you mean by the genuine and continuing relationship?
Genuine continuing relationship is very important, and it's a important requirement of this particular visa.
Okay.
Genuine continuing relationship means that both husband and wife are committed to live with each other. They must be committed in terms of commitment, that they must be married as per that particular government law. Let's say if you're getting married in India, you must be married as per the government law as well. If you are belongs to particular religion, you must be married as per that particular religion as well.
And do you have to register your marriage in Australia as well?
No, you don't need to be registered in Australia. Let's say if you're getting married in India, you must require to provide the particular government certificate, which is called a Government of Indian Marriage Certificate. If you provide the marriage certificate from India, it should be alright. You don't need to be registered in this country. You can also register here, but it's not mandatory requirement. So in addition, you need to provide all the chat history, WhatsApp history, call history. You need to make a statement as well, that where did you meet, how did you meet, how your relationship
so
will continue.
you have to actually prove your relationship as
Yeah,
well.
you must need to prove your relationship. You also need to provide a joint bank account. Like financially, you are supporting each other.
Okay.
So, and when you get married, you need to provide your marriage photographs,
Okay.
marriage certificate.
Affidavits from relatives.
That's it. Affidavit from both parents.
Okay.
Because sometimes what happen, a lot of even though also spouse need to provide a particular affidavit or statement of relationship that both has been married without any force. So and also parents need to provide a statement that okay, they are happily married and we have we were attended that marriage and all these things. So you need to provide those kind of documents in order to meet the requirement for partner visa applications.
Girish, just something popped in my mind because in India a lot of arranged marriages do happen. Will that still be recognized because there's not all relations have a proof that they've been in touch with each other or they have a relationship before the marriage? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it, your point. Now, obviously, as myself, I also got married. My marriage was an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
I met my wife first time, and after 10 days, we decided to get married. I know it suddenly happened, even though, but most of in arranged marriage, what happened? The relatives or our close family members
Yeah.
or close friends or family. They actually introduce each other
Yeah.
into the group, into the society, and that's how the relationship build up. So most of arrangements are commonly they know each other.
Yeah.
So you could get, when you make a statement of your relationship,
Okay.
you can justify, you can write down that how did you meet.
So you can include the names of the people that were
yeah,
in the group.
That's right. And in addition, you can also get a affidavit, a declaration. You can get affidavit or statutory declaration from that particular person that we help them to introduce each other family members in terms of to build this relationship, in terms of to get married. And in arranged marriage, especially let's say if you are Hindu, if you are Christian, if you are Muslim, you do have let's say you do perform your marriage ceremony according to your religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say if you are Hindu, you perform the Hindu marriage ceremony according.
Yes.
So obviously, especially in arranged marriage, there are a lot of people also come there in your
Yeah.
function. Most of love marriage, they do marriage in court, or they
Yeah.
do have the limited family members. But in arrangement, you can also provide the photographs of marriage with a lot of people attended that marriage.
Okay.
So there are a lot of proof you need to submit while you get arranged marriage as well.
Okay.
So arranged marriage is not it's not like that you cannot make an application. You can still make an application.
With the proper documentation.
Yeah, with the proper documentations, because this application is required your relationship documents.
Yeah.
So it's very important to provide those kind of documents in order to submit the applications.
Thank you, Girish. Is there an age limit for when a person can apply for a spouse visa?
No, well, obviously there is no certain kind of age limit, but obviously, as I said, you can make an application, so there is no such a age limit.
Okay, good. What's the processing time like?
That's it's really good question, I would say, because most of our clients are asking how long will it take to finalize the applications, because as per the government standard time frame, it takes 12 months to finalize the applications.
That's a long time.
Which is a long time.
When you have to think about newly married people meeting up.
But I would say that because sometimes there are a lot of applications who which are those applications has been finalized within the 6 months as well. But what we do in most of cases, we submit all documentations at the time of application, at the time of lodgement. And when you do submit all kind of these documents, you must make sure there's no remaining documents are left. Let's say you need to provide your police clearance certificate from your different country if you have lived more than 12 months in the last 10 years, and you need to provide the medical examination. You need to clear the medical examination, and your genuine documents, relationship documents, your sponsor documents, your applicant's documents. If you provide all these documents together at the same time, your application could process on priority base, because when visa officer allocate, your documents already has been submitted into the application. So officer does not feel that okay, we should ask more documents to finalize the applications. So it's really good things that if you submit the application with all proper documentations, your application could get less time to finalize it.
Girish, is there an option where, just to reduce the processing time, if you intend to marry somebody, is there a option where you can say intention to get married and apply beforehand?
There are a lot of ways that you can you can save the time. The first thing is that let's say if you apply an application from offshore, obviously it takes 12 months, so the applicant cannot come in Australia within that time frame. So in that case, what you can do is you can apply for visitor visa application. Immigration usually grant that visitor visa application for 6 months. Sometimes they do grant for 1 year as well. But with limited time frame, means like you can stay here up to 3 months, then you have to leave the country for a certain period, then you can come back. So in some time you can also grant the visa for 6 months. You can continuously stay here 6 months. And in visitor visa, sometimes government give an option that you can, while you come in Australia, you can also extend the visa for another 3 months or 6 months visa. So by the time you leave with your partner, the application can process and your application can grant. In other terms, that's for offshore applicants. The second one is that the onshore applicants, like those who are onshore. And apply for partner visa application, you can grant the bridging visa A. So that means for onshore applicants, they don't have to worry about that, because bridging visa A allow you to stay here lawfully in this country and allow you to work here lawfully in this country. So you don't need to leave the country at all. Now, apart from the visitor visa we were talking about, what you can do is you can apply for prospective marriage visa applications. Let's say if you went to India, or you have the plan to get married in future time, you can apply for prospective marriage visa applications. And then like in the meantime, if your circumstances change, like you're getting married and you want to apply for partner visa, what you can do is you just need to submit the circumstances change form, and you can transfer your application. You can change your application into the partner visa application.
That's good. They have a lot of options.
Yeah, they do have the option to minimize the time frame.
And also for all those people who complain that the processing time takes too long after the marriage, as you said, the very good option is to apply for a temporary visiting visa.
That's right. That you can do it, and you can stay in here, and you can spend the time with your partner here in Australia.
Very good. So Girish, getting down to the main question, let's crunch some numbers. What's the fees?
The fees, if you're applying for partner visa application or for prospective marriage visa application or onshore, offshore, it will be the same fee. It is costing $7,000 per applicant.
That's a honeymoon.
So the immigration fees is $7,000, which has been increased by recently they have increased the fees, and in last 3 or 4 years it has been increased by 50 or nearly 100% of total. It used to be $3,000 in 2014-15. So in recently 3 years, in last 3 years, it has gone up more than 100%.
Wow, 7,000.
Yeah,
that's quite a lot.
It's huge money to apply for it.
Yeah, but it's a one-time thing.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing. Yeah. One more thing. Yeah, it's a one-time thing. And when you apply for partner visa application, you grant provisional visa. It's provisional permanent visa. Means the date you lodge an application, from the date till next 2 years. If your relationship continuing with your partner, then you can be eligible to apply for 100 or 80 visa, which is called a permanent visa. So if your relationship break up between that time, you cannot be eligible to apply for 100 or 801 permanent visa. In some cases, let's say if you've been humiliated, if you've been violated by family violence, In some cases, you can prove that things while you make an application, then you can grant that visa as well.
That's a very good point. Thanks for sharing that.
So let's say there are a lot of applicants here in Australia who are on partner visa 801, sorry, 820, 820 or 309, and they've been violated with the family members and or any other friends or something, and they have been separated with the partner and want to apply for partner visa application for permanent visa, which is called 801 or 100. You need to prove in front of the immigration department that you've been, victimized. You've been victimized in family violence.
Yes.
And then you can make an application you can grant that permanent visa application.
Excellent.
So which is a good point. In other terms, let's say if your sponsor is died, and you want to apply for permanent visa, you can still make an application on the basis of that your husband has died in this country. Yeah. And the third thing is that if you have a child and you separated with your partner, and your partner does not want to sponsor you again for permanent visa, because when you apply for permanent visa, you must require sponsorship. Means you must be living together for 2 years minimum. If your sponsor say that I don't want to sponsor you again, but if you have a child and if the custody of the child belongs to you, you can still make an application on the basis of that child. And you can grant the permanent visa again in this country as well.
Beautiful. I'm sure a lot of viewers have got a lot of information, but once again, can you tell us the requirements as per the documentation?
Well, your relationship must be genuine and continuing. Genuine in the terms that you must be married as per the law. You must provide all the relationship documents. Let's say a marriage certificate, a marriage photographs. You're living together. If you are living in Australia, if you're living together, you need to provide the bond agreement. You need to provide the lease agreement. You need to provide the payslip. a bank statement that you're living with the same address.
Okay.
You can also provide the utilities bills where you're living on the same address. You can also provide the joint bank account.
Okay.
Right. Casual photograph. Let's say if you've been to visit a place and if you have taken a selfie or if you have taken a photograph together with the friends or family members, you can provide those kind of documents as well.
These days, it's very easy.
That's right.
With the
if you or your partner been invited by a friends or family member in a party or in a marriage, and if you have that marriage card or party invitation card under your both name, you can also provide those kind of documentations.
Social media has made it very easy because you've got photos and chat histories in Facebook, Instagram, everywhere.
You can also provide the Facebook screenshot that you were committed or you married. It's because socially you've been accepted by the people, so you can also provide a screenshot of your Facebook that you were engaged or you were married or you were committed, something like that. In addition, while you were aware, when you apply for offshore applications, obviously partner and sponsor are away from each other. They've been constantly touching with them by contacting a call, or you can chat or chat history, WhatsApp history. Those kind of documents you can also provide that. And you can also provide the statement that how did you meet, how your relationship were built up, when did you get married, when did you get engaged, and what's your future plan.
Okay.
You need to justify what's your future plan. Why you want to get married, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So, obviously after getting married because I found him very nice and all these things, and we have a future plan that we will be having this kind of house, we will be having this kind of job, and we will, live together here forever. Kind of the future plan you can also mention in the statement. Apart from this one, you need to provide 2 important documents which we call Form 888. Which mean a 2 witness signed form from the Australian permanent residents or Australian citizen. We need to provide those 2 documents that, let's say the sponsor provide the sponsor's friends or family member who know a sponsor or applicant for a long time. They can witness and they can sign that later that we know that both since long time or been, recent time. And they're going to get married future, or they got married and their relationship is genuine and continuing. So they need to provide 2 witness signed form.
So Girish, thank you so much for all that information. We do have certain questions from our viewers. I'm sure you can help us. So we have a question from Saraswati Seshan. The lady is asking if she wants to visit Australia on a visiting visa, of course, but she only has a cousin. So they're not immediate family, but they're a cousin.
Cousin, okay.
What's the procedure and requirements?
See, if that lady has got first cousin who's living in Australia, obviously when you are a child, when you are in younger age, you as a cousin, or when you live together, you share a life together, and when someone go to another country and want to visit that person after a long time, because once you move to another country, it's very hard to meet each other for a long time frame. And if you want to go to meet someone in Australia, you just need to get a sponsor letter from that particular person who is sponsoring from Australia. So that person going to give a commitment that I'm going to sponsor this particular applicant, and I want that person going to stay with me. So you can providing the accommodation. You can also providing the financial support, like I'm going to spend some kind of money,
take care of her.
Yeah, I'm going to take her out into the country. I will show the a lot of places in Australia. So you can also it's called an invitation letter. You can make an invitation letter that she will be, because since been childhood we've been knowing each other, and it's been a long time, because I moved to Australia, it's very hard to me to go in India.
Fair enough, yeah.
And she never been visited Australia before, and she want to come in this country, so you need to provide those kind of documentations. Once you get the invitation letter, with the invitation letter you need to provide supporting financial evidence, and you need to provide the address proof that where she is going to live. Once you provide those documents, you can make an application here in Australia for visitor visa. Now the subclass is called 600. And under subclass 600 there are two streams are there. One is called tourist stream, the other one is called business stream. You're not eligible to the business stream because you're not coming here to work, short-term work or something, or not coming here for attend to seminar. You're just coming here to tourist purpose, to visit a family or friends member. So you just make an application on the tourist stream, and it costs $140 applications. And now it's very important thing nowadays, from the 1st of July 2017, Immigration Australia has started online applications. So
it's easier now.
It is easier. From India, when we used to, before 1st of July 2017, we were making paper applications.
Yeah, so stand in the line, take an appointment.
Yes, through VFS, or we can gather all documents, we courier it to the immigration department. But now it's an online applications, and immigration department has introduced one more facility into the visa. If you want to do the fast track applications, if you want to grant the visa within 48 hours, you just have to pay the extra $1,000.
Wow.
So if you pay $1,000 extra, you can make an application for fast track, which grant within 48 hours. Sometimes it takes time, but most of the time they do grant within 48 hours.
It's good to have that option for some people.
That's right.
They need to come quick.
But make sure you submit all the relevant documents while you're lodging applications from India as well from the sponsor in Australia. Then your application can be put on the faster track.
We've got another question from Sandeep. Now Sandeep's girlfriend is in India. They're not married yet, but she is a fiancé. So what he would like to know is, how can he get his fiancé here, and how fast can he get her here?
See, there are two ways that her fiancé can come here in this country. If you have not planned to get married recently, let's say in near future for another 12 months, what you can do is you can apply for fiancé visa, which is called a prospective marriage visa. They're going to get married in near future. So that visa subclass is called 300. But the standard processing time for this particular subclass is 12 months. So if you don't want to wait for that particular subclass, and if you don't want to let apply for that visa, what other visa is called a tourist visa, which grant within 15 to 20 working days, and you can apply for visitor visa applications, and then you can come in this country for 3 months or certain time frame, and then you can stay together for a certain time frame.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Girish. You have explained everything that we'd like to know, and I'm sure our viewers are very happy for it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for me to hear, and thanks for everyone.
Thank you.